Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Donch Show. Today, we're going to be previewing and predicting the fight card for the David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade fight tomorrow. Big fight, of course, the last real pay-per-view fight, or last pay-per-view fight ever for Showtime Boxing. I'm pretty upset about it, but just a reminder before we get into this episode, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube, Big Donch, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram, also called Big Donch. So let's get right into it. But of course, the big news, well, is just we're going to go into later. Really, the big news is Charlo missing weight. He's the co-main or undercard, but that's embarrassing. We'll get to that later on. But other big news is, well, this is the last pay-per-view fight we're going to see from Showtime, going out with a bang. Do I really think this fight should have been pay-per-view? No. I mean, adding on Charlo and Benavidez, Jose Benavidez, maybe right there. But I don't know. I don't think David Benavidez and Andrade is really a pay-per-view bout. It is what it is. Maybe the card itself, though, could have been labeled as pay-per-view. Either way, let's look at the fight. Okay, so we have some pretty big fights. So I'll admit. David Benavidez, okay, he's the favorite versus Demetrius Andrade for the super middleweight. This is WBC interim super middleweight belt that David Benavidez currently holds. He's coming off the win against Caleb Plant, a very big, impressive win that he had. Jamar Charlo, he's coming in as a favorite, but he did miss weight. We'll talk about that later. First, Jose Benavidez Jr. That's a middleweight bout. That's a catchweight bout, actually. Sub-year-old Matias, he's coming in as the favorite versus Hajan Ergasev. Okay, hopefully I pronounced that right. Super lightweight bout. And then we have Hector Luis Garcia versus Lamont Roach. So that's going to be a pretty good, solid fight, actually. We saw Hector Garcia face Tank. Didn't go well for him, but I feel like this bout right there, though, is going to be pretty solid. So the card itself is actually pretty solid. It's tomorrow, okay? The Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas. I didn't even know that arena existed. Starts at 9 p.m. and the Showtime pay-per-view, $75. So, like I said, if you're going to make a Showtime, make like $50, $40, $75 for that. I don't know, man. Not worth it. Not worth it. But either way, let's take a look at it now. So David Benavidez is very good. Okay, 26 years old. He's in his prime. In his prime, he's rolling. Alrighty, he has a record of 27 wins, 23 by knockout. Okay, couldn't get it done against Caleb Plant, but Caleb Plant's a warrior, right? But we saw it, right? And I'm surprised Benavidez is still staying at super middleweight. I don't know. I don't know how he makes weight. That's all I gotta say. If Jamar Charlo, or I should say this, if David Benavidez can make weight like that at that size, there's no excuse for Jamar Charlo. Either way, they're not fighting each other, so I can't say much. Either way, though, I don't know how he makes weight. We're going to see him bump up to light heavyweight and maybe even cruiserweight and heavyweight by the end of his career, which would be solid. We got to see that Canelo fight first. But David Benavidez, Mexican monster. I have him as number 2 middleweight after, or super middleweight after Canelo. I'm pretty sure that's common sense. A lot of people will pick Benavidez as the winner against Canelo, but I have Benavidez as the number 2, in my opinion, ranked super middleweight. I think that's fair. Andrade, now, he was up there. Okay, he was up there. He was one of the best super middleweights until Canelo stepped up. He has been pretty inactive. He has been. I mean, he is the WBO middleweight titleist. He's bumped up to super middleweight. So yeah, I should say he was the best middleweight fighter. He had his last fight against Demon Nicholson. This was this past January. He won by a 10th round unanimous decision. His record is only 32 wins, but 19 by knockout. So he doesn't really have a powerful punch, or he's more of an outboxer, which I can see that happening. I can see this round going. I can see this fight going to the later rounds, maybe even to the cards. I'll say this because if David Benavidez does not hurt, and I saw Jim Lanley say this, if David Benavidez does not hurt Andrade, this fight could go to the cards, and Andrade could definitely have experience. Listen, Andrade's the bigger guy, or I'm sorry, the more experienced guy. 35 years old. He's been doing it for a while. Okay. With the Pan American Games, won silver. He was the world championship. He won gold in the world championships in Chicago in 2007. I mean, he's the experienced guy. He's been here before. He's been on the big stage before. Benavidez has been too, but this is no easy cakewalk. This is probably going to be Benavidez' hardest fight. But, he's going to rely on scoring points, punching. If you think you're going to go for a one-punch knockout on Andrade, not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. Now, Benavidez isn't really that type of guy to go for a one-punch knockout. He's more of the guy to go for multiple combos for the TKO. But, I don't expect that. Don't be expecting that. Because a lot of his knockouts have been for the TKO. He doesn't really have many actual knockouts. Okay, maybe obviously early in his career when he was facing a bunch of no names, but don't expect no one-punch knockout. And if it's going to be a TKO, it's definitely going to be in the later rounds. This fight's going to go to distance. I can say going at least, I think we're going to at least see 10 rounds minimum. Okay. I think we're going to see at least 10 rounds minimum. If Andrade does win, it's going to be on the card. It's going to be points. I'm sorry. I just that's how it's going to go. If Benavidez does win, it could be also points, but if it's going to be a stoppage, it's going to be past the 10th round. That's just my prediction. That's my prediction. But this is definitely a good scrap. Benavidez taking fights. I want to see Benavidez versus Canelo next year. But hey, maybe Andrade wins. Maybe we get to see, I don't know. Because even if he wins, I still want to see Canelo versus Benavidez. I'm sorry. I know. If Andrade wins, goes out in retirement fight for super middleweight, undisputed titles against Canelo, that'd be a huge fight. That'd be the biggest payday of his career. However, I do still want to see Benavidez versus Canelo, and we're starting to see Canelo. We don't know where he's going to do either. Is he going to move up again, or what's Benavidez going to do? He can't stay a super middleweight forever with his size. So I don't know. I can't really say I'm rooting for anybody in this fight, but I really do want to see Benavidez face Canelo next year, and I think that's the only way that happens is if he wins this fight. That's just my opinion. I do want to see Canelo. Hey, I'm not even going to talk about Canelo too much. This is Canelo's fight. Let's go on to the next fight, though. Jermall Charlo versus Jose Benavidez. Middleweight title. It was a catchweight bout, okay? This wasn't even supposed to be for the belts that obviously Jermall Charlo hasn't even been defending lately. He's so inactive. How he still has the belt is beyond me. It was just a 10-round bout, catchweight of 163 pounds. Okay, Jose Benavidez is 33. Well, guess what happens? Okay, I mean, Charlo's last fight, he had a decision win over Juan Montiel in June of 2021. He had some injuries, mental health problems. Okay, I understand, but I don't know how he wasn't stripped of the belt. Either way, he had this time to get a good fight, have a very solid fight. And guess what happens? He's tipped the scales at 166.4 pounds. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's 3 pounds over the catchweight limit bout. A catchweight bout. He didn't even have to. It was a catchweight bout that they agreed on, and he still came over. Let me just say that's lazy. That's unprofessional. That's just really embarrassing. Alrighty. 3 pounds? Maybe missing it by 0.3, 0.4. That's one thing. But 3 pounds? Like, did you even try? And here's the thing. Here's another tweet I saw. Keith Adick Boxing. Jermall Charlo came in 166.6 pounds on his second attempt at making weight. That's heavier than his first try. I'm sorry, but that is embarrassing, unprofessional for the sport of boxing when guys do that, especially 3 pounds. Come on now. You haven't fought in 2 years. You have no room to be doing that. You're given the opportunity, a good fight, catchweight bout, okay? And you go in over 3 pounds. I don't know how anybody could defend that. I don't understand the excuses for that. They're still going to try to get it going. It's in jeopardy, though. It is in jeopardy, but Charlo doing that really is embarrassing. I'm sorry. You can't be doing that. That's just unprofessional. Any boxer who does that. I feel like anything that's over 0.5 pounds you're missing is just unprofessional. Even if it was under 0.5, I still feel like that's just a little bit embarrassing. But not as bad as 3 pounds, especially over a catchweight bout you missed the past 2 years. I want to see Jermall Charlo first. Caleb Plant. I hope Caleb Plant said something, boost that energy for that fight because I want to see that fight. But who knows what's going to happen? Charlo was the favorite. I don't know how that changes now. I mean, he's obviously heavier. Jose Benavidez weighed in at 161 pounds, so he weighed 2 pounds under the catchweight bout. It's going to be a bit of a size disadvantage, but I hope the fight goes on. But I can totally understand if Benavidez doesn't want the fight to go on. And I don't know if he has this say in doing that, but I understand though if the fight didn't happen. And I think the blame 100% goes on Charlo. Don't blame Benavidez for the fight not happening if this fight does not happen. It's all Charlo's fault for this. That's just embarrassing. You can't be doing that, especially off a 2-year layoff. Alrighty, you have you should have been stripped of the title to begin with. All right, you're given a chance not for a title bout, but a catchweight bout, and you weigh in 3 pounds overweight. That's just embarrassing. It's like you don't even care. Let's take a look at the other bout of the evening. We have Subriel Matias first, like I said, Ergasev. This is a super lightweight bout. Let's look at this fight right here. This is for, well, Subius was 140-pound. He's a hard-hitting IBF world champion. So he is 19-1. Okay, all wins by knockout. So that's pretty impressive. Ergashev, he's 23-0, so this definitely could be a good bout. They're both 31 years old. Ergashev's 5'10". Matias is 5'8". So it's definitely going to be a good bout. I like to see that. What I'm excited to see though is Hector Garcia fight now versus what is his name? Lamont Roach. That's going to be a good fight. I feel like that's going to be a really good fight because what we saw. Here's what I'm walking scene. Hector Luis Garcia. After he beat Lamont Roach, he wants to unify titles. I don't know about all that. Pretty sure it's going to be for super featherweight, so junior lightweight. So that definitely could happen. You're gonna have to go through Navarrete. I don't know about all that. His last fight was a stoppage against Gervonta Davis back in January, which he did not look good. Pretty sure he had to quit on the stool, which is okay, nothing wrong with that. But to unify the titles, I wouldn't say about all that. But definitely gonna be a good fight. That's the other one I'll be looking forward to. I'm not really looking forward to the Matias fight, but Garcia versus Roach, Charlo versus Benavidez. If it happens, I could understand if it doesn't. And Benavidez versus Andrade. So that's all I gotta say. So who do I have winning each fight? I'm gonna go with Benavidez winning that fight. Charlo, if the fight doesn't go on, I still have Charlo winning. I mean, you could come up with excuses for Benavidez Jr. That'd be fair, actually. But I would have, Charlo winning. Matias versus Ergashev. I'm gonna go with Matias. I think Garcia versus Lamont Roach. I don't know. Garcia seems hungry. He wants to unify those titles. Give me Garcia. Split decision. Okay, for the Benavidez versus Andrade fight, I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be a unanimous decision again for Benavidez. Charlo versus Jose Benavidez Jr. I think that to go to the decision too. I don't think we're going to see any knockouts. Maybe the Matias fight, but I don't think we're going to see any knockouts for those 4 fights, those 4 big fights. I think it's all going to be to the cards. With Garcia and Roach being the closest one, but Garcia winning by split decision. That's just my opinion, guys. Stay tuned for the fight recap on Sunday. I'm going to make some shorts. Not going to be live streaming this fight, unfortunately. Well, a live watch party. I never live stream the actual fight, just a live watch party. So the camera's on me while I'm watching the fight. You can't see the fight because of copyright issues. Obviously, that's legal. But I won't be doing a watch party this week. Stay tuned though for a lot more live watch parties. I enjoy them. You guys enjoy them too. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm out, guys. Peace.